A lot of people think to get to where they want to be, to get to their dream life, first they have to do all of these things, put in all the work, get there, and then they'll feel happy and satisfied and fulfilled. And a lot of people are surprised when they hit these big milestones. Maybe they hit certain amounts of money in their bank account. Maybe they meet the perfect person. Maybe they start traveling a ton and they have all these things that, you know, they've always wanted, all these things that they thought would bring them a lot of joy and happiness. And they'll be surprised that the way they feel about life and the way they feel about their life hasn't necessarily changed that much. A good example is someone, let's say they want to have a certain amount of money. Maybe they'll work really hard, maybe they'll save and they won't spend their money, they won't travel, they won't do anything fun. They'll save all their money. And they're like, okay, once I hit that number, I'll be so happy and then I'll start spending money and start living life and enjoying life. But then they get to that number and pretty much nothing really changes. This is because the number, the goal, the destination has very little with how you feel. You might think that you will feel a certain way once you get to a certain goal, but it just doesn't really work that way. So if you're trying to manifest your dream life, if you're trying to hit certain goals, if you want to change your career, if you want to have a certain amount of money, if you want to meet your soulmate, whatever you're trying to manifest, you don't actually need it first to then feel how you would feel. And it's actually a lot easier and a lot faster to do it the other way around, to feel feelings of love and feel feelings of abundance and then attract the things that you're trying to manifest. Because a lot of the times, if you do it the other way around, it can take a long time, but it can also not work out the way that you think. Like, you might end up with what you previously thought was your dream life and not feel the feelings that you thought you would feel, not feel like the feelings of happiness or joy or fulfillment that you like truly believe that you would have. So a really fun little technique when you're looking for guidance, so if you're someone who likes to watch tarot readings like I do, or if you're someone who likes to seek out guidance, this is a fun little practice that you can use. So we're gonna assume that you get everything that you're trying to manifest. Yes, you get everything that you want, it happens. And this in itself is a fun and good practice if you're trying to manifest, because you're like, okay, well, what would happen if I truly believe that I'm gonna get everything I want, that I assume I will for sure get everything I want. That's a good kind of headspace to be in if you're trying to manifest, but that's not actually the exercise. We're gonna assume that you get everything you want, you get your dream life, and then from that point of view, from that stance, you're gonna ask yourself, well, how would that version of me react to certain things in certain situations, and what would that version of me do on a daily basis? If you're looking for guidance, if you're wondering, are you on the right path? Are you taking the right actions, the right steps? Are you having the right reactions to things? Then use this technique and think, well, what would the version of me that has my dream life, has everything I want, well, how would that version of me react to things? And what would they do? What would their everyday daily routine look like? And this will also help you to see if the steps that you're taking, if the actions that you're taking is actually in alignment with the things that you're trying to manifest. A lot of the times we get distracted by the little things. So if you're trying to manifest wealth, for example, you might get distracted with like trying to save and trying to cut back on things, because it feels easy, it feels like it's a part of your daily routine, it feels like something that you could just do really quickly, but that can be a really big distraction in a way, because you're taking your time and your mental energy away from the bigger things that you could be focusing on. So you could be thinking of different ways to increase your income. So you could be thinking of new ways to add revenue streams. That would be most likely a more effective use of your time and a more efficient use of your energy. But if you're being distracted by little things, then ultimately it's not going to be as helpful. So if you were to do the exercise and think, okay, well, once I have a lot of money, what would that version of me do in my daily life? And most likely you'd be focused on the revenue, you'd be focused on the income side of things. You wouldn't necessarily be super concerned with the little savings that you could have every day. And same thing if you're trying to manifest your person, if you're trying to manifest a partner, and you think, okay, well, once I have this partner, what would my daily life look like? What would I do on a daily basis? And the answer is you wouldn't be looking for them. You wouldn't be like trying to find love. You would just be relaxed and you would be enjoying yourself. You would just go about your day to day in a very calm way, and you would feel a sense of almost relief. Like you don't have to do anything. You don't need to work and find someone. You can just be yourself and enjoy the daily life and just go about your day as you would if you didn't have anything to do, if you didn't have to do something, if you didn't have to work for something. And if you can embody that energy, then you're going to be a lot closer to aligning with the things you're trying to manifest, rather than the energy of someone who's actively working towards finding love. That's going to be very different than the energy of someone who has an abundance of love in their life. So to take this exercise one step further, once you do this and once you find the guidance that you're looking for, the next thing that's going to really help you is to use that in your daily mental talks. And you might not realize it, but you actually have a dialogue with yourself a lot of the times. And for most of us throughout the day, there are so many times when we're having sort of judgment on ourselves. Your mind is passing judgment on you, on your life, on everything that's going on. And if you're someone who is like this, if you're someone who is self-critical, if you're someone who talks to yourself in a way that's super unkind or negatively, then you'll especially benefit from this exercise. Basically, you're gonna think about the version of yourself that has everything that you want, and you're gonna think about the inner dialogue that goes on. What would that version of yourself say to themselves? What would that version of you say to you? It most likely won't be negative or critical thoughts and comments. So if you're someone who struggles with this, maybe you struggle with body dysmorphia, maybe you struggle with feeling like you're not good enough, or feeling like certain things just aren't enough, like your life isn't enough. Maybe you say negative things to yourself about your looks or whatever it is, but you are trying to change that thing, right? So let's say you're trying to manifest weight loss, you're trying to manifest building muscles and changing your physique, but your self-talk is really negative. Like you say negative things to yourself about your weight or about how you look. Then what you're going to do is you're going to really focus on changing that. And I've been practicing this actually. So I'll say, I don't really say it out loud, but I'll think to myself. I'll say, wow, you're so skinny. Wow, you look so fit. Wow, you've been going to the gym a lot and you look so healthy and you're glowing. Almost as if your really good friend is talking to you, because if you were talking to a friend, you would probably never say all the negative and mean things that you would say to yourself to them. At first it's gonna feel really weird and odd, but the more you do it, the more you're gonna be amazed by how well this works. The more that you compliment yourself and the more that you sort of hype yourself up, the more you'll start to believe it. And then your actions, your thoughts, your habits, your patterns, everything will align with this new positive self-image that you're sort of imposing and ingraining into yourself. And then you're going to start to see things in your life manifest so much faster and so much easier. It's kind of like reaching this flow state. And the way that I can describe it is you'll just feel this sense of relief and the sense of calm. Like you no longer have to work so hard to get the things that you're trying to manifest. Like there's this new trust and confidence in your ability to manifest, and you build that with positive self-talk. And it's a practice, you kind of have to work at it, but once you start, it actually does get a lot easier every single day, even though it feels a little bit weird at first. And I know that if you stick to this for 21 days, because that's generally how long it takes to build a new habit, you're gonna see amazing results. So let me know if you guys tried this out. Let me know if it works for you and share your stories with me. But that's it for today's little video. I hope that you found value in this. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with someone who might also find it to be impactful, and I will see you next time. Bye!